On July 10th, 2015, a native Illinois woman was pulled over by a Texas state trooper for improperly signaling a lane change. She was arrested for alleged assault of a police officer, taken to Walter County Jail, and 3 days later, she was found dead, hanging in her jail cell.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Amani, editor-in-chief of MetVader.com. Today we're in Washington Square Park, here to ask people about their opinions and thoughts on the SandraBland case.
SandraBland, from what I understand, was an activist.
I know that she was pulled over for incorrectly changing lanes due to failure to signal.
She's a person that was murdered by the police for being black.
She was actually on her way to her alma mater to begin a new position that she just got.
That she was smoking a cigarette. The police officer asked her to put it out. He asked her in a fashion that sounded like it was a request, from what I read. And she didn't put it out, and then he proceeded to try and remove her forcibly from the vehicle.
As he was telling her to get out the car, she said, "Why am I being arrested? What are you accusing me of?" He wouldn't tell her. Then he proceeded, when she was getting aggressive, and wouldn't tell her why he wanted her to get out the car. Then he tried to arrest her. She said, "Why am I getting arrested? You haven't told me." Then as she got out the car, then he starts arresting her, and she's trying to resist, and now she's getting arrested for resisting.
Then I also know that she was arrested, taken to jail, that she called a friend, left a voicemail, sounded normal, but said, I'm sort of at a loss for why this is happening. This system is beyond me. I don't understand how a lane change turned into this. I have a $5,000 bond. This is crazy. But hey, call me back. I'm still here. And then I know that she was found dead, hanged by a garbage bag.
SandraBland is a woman who obviously got caught in a situation that any of us can get caught in at any time, so we always have to be vigilant.
No, he's racist. He's doing this because she's black.
He didn't say why she was arrested. He just stole his car. Oh my God. Yes, that's his gun.
Cops can do whatever they want. Even here.
Even here, we saw Eric Garner.
Even in New York.
Even in New York.
The cops can do whatever they want.
This is where psychology has to be put into play because this is so ridiculous. This is so unfair and no just cause.
It's just really upsetting. For me it just reinforces why this is an issue right now, why we have the big Black Lives Matter thing, and I think I think people are still sort of in denial about it a little bit. A lot of people I talk to are not in denial about it, but they don't necessarily know what to do about it. And I think this video sort of just shows that there needs to be changes made. This is still a thing in America.
It's upsetting. It's all the time. This is all I'm seeing now. Is what cops are doing to people, especially black people. It's all I'm seeing. It's all I'm seeing every day. And it's non-stop. I think it's been happening though. I think it's just now being recorded.
Anytime there's a loss of life, it's a really sad and tragic thing. But then compounding that are the reasons why she in particular lost her life for a traffic violation. But we know it's not really a traffic violation. This has everything to do with profiling, with the unpoliced powers of the police, right? Where they somehow are the judge and executioner at the same time. And, it points to a lot of really important and serious issues that we're dealing with, and we have been dealing with now for decades, and not centuries in this country.
Well, having seen it several times before, you don't get numb to it, but it doesn't make you go crazy like it did the first time you heard it. I've been around a few years, and really things are changing, but nothing has changed.
I've been
my brother when he got a ticket for like I don't know, like speeding or something, and it was very like, oh, okay, not like that.
I think what really was one of the driving forces for this man to be extra abusive to him is the fact that she is a woman questioning his manhood, and he couldn't take the fact that she was like, no, I'm not taking out my cigarette, I'm in my car. She basically let him know, I'm a grown-ass woman, this is my vehicle, and I'm going to smoke whatever I want to smoke in my car, the cigarette, whatever I want to do in my car. He didn't like that she was challenging him, and that's when he was like, all right, get out the car, you're getting arrested. But because you're upset.
I don't think that it had anything to do with her gender. I think it's just the simple fact that she's black. I think it was just race. I don't think that it was
black woman.
Because
No,
I
I think
it's both.
I think it was both.
There were so many different.
A woman and black.
A black woman.
I think, but it would have happened to a black man too.
I think we've had a history of our country saying and our media saying black women are angry, black women can't be controlled, their men don't control them, their men don't want them. This is what it is.
I don't think that they care if it's women. I think they're just racist bastards. Maybe some cops would be a little more tolerant for women, but no, I just think it's just all racial.
You know, it's interesting. I've been reading like posts online about how when black people just demand some level of, decent treatment, some dignity, that is perceived by the power structure, law enforcement, white people in general, as being like defensive and violent and like aggressive behavior. When really, from the video that I watched, the video that's been passed around has been doctored too, as we all understand. She was simply just fighting for her dignity. She had every right to smoke a cigarette in her own car. She had every right to speak to the officer in the way that she did, which wasn't disrespectful, but it was agitated, right? It's not unlawful to be agitated.
I still think that there's so much visual proof, but it just doesn't matter. That's
Right, because still, it's also about interpretation, right? And so some people who look at it, and if they have a certain way of thought, maybe they hate people of color or whatever, or men, women, whatever the premise is, they're not going to see it. It could be right there in black and white, but they're not going to see it because they already have a clouded judgment.
It's racial because you had that gang of street bikers who were it was like a shootout, but yet they were all sitting there allowed to be on their phones and they were giving jackets, they were given certain treatments. But then you have a woman who was driving with her tail light out. You had a kid who was walking down the street with a bag of Skittles. You have someone who was standing on a corner who was accused of selling Lucy's. You just have all these astronomical, crazy scenarios of people just chilling, being innocent, just being murdered. But then
even in the case of Fruitville Station, where we have someone who actually, even when we have a case where somebody actually does something. So we're gonna come from this point. In Fruitville Station, he was a criminal. He had a past of being a criminal. What does that mean? Where does that go? Where do we go from here? How do we deal with this? But before they even knew he was a criminal, did they shoot him in a platform in front of his entire family and his friends and kill him in a train station?
With people on the
with
train
people
station.
on the platform recording and
saying no, stop.
So racial tension.
It was, so even if they were wrong, what is our system? How are we training? And we're in a country where people are like, okay, well, we can't have all 50 states doing the same thing. All 50 states have their own law. All 50 states have their own police academies and how they train. Everyone's different. So we have an army that trains exactly the same. Are we going to train our men how we train our army? No. But we have situations when, in Baltimore, where there's riots, do we have police officers with machine guns and tanks?
Exactly.
So what's our real situation? Are we going to have a country that's giving us militant police officers like they do in the third world countries? Because I know we do that in Trinidad and Jamaica, where we have police officers who have machine guns and we have an army as well. So are we going to do that, or are we going to have police that are trained in all 50 states to protect and serve?
The people.
Or are we going to have police that can do whatever they want, cover themselves up, and just keep it pushing at the end of the day? Or you kill a black woman, you kill a black man, you kill a black little girl while she's sleeping in her bed, and you get to have pay, you get a paid leave,
you get people going on GoFundMe, you get money.
You're getting funded for killing us. So So how do we get funded for living?
With the Black Lives Matter movement, I think it's an important supplemental aspect of bringing national attention to, and even international attention, to how things actually go down in this country. Like the discrimination that is pervasive and happens on a daily basis all over the place. Whether or not you have lived experience with it, whether or not you've seen it or experienced it yourself, like, it's happening. And it's really important for people to be aware of that, and then to also view each other as people. Like, regardless like of color or gender, what does it matter? We're all people. Everyone should be treated with dignity and respect.
We all want the same things: food, clothing, and shelter, and security for our families. But I don't see why we all don't understand that.